behind the scenes, y'all. Yeah. Yes,
I'm
Crystal.
Crystal.
Yeah.
This is the real Crystal.
Yeah,
That's
Crystal
right.
Champ.
Yeah.
She just won an award.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, City of Boston.
Say a
gave
little,
me-
tell us a little something about it. Go
I
ahead.
got the Spark Impact Award.
That's
with
right.
Your little project, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
good for
So
you.
the
Yes.
mayor and Chamber of Commerce and all them gave me an award.
Yeah, and some money.
Yeah, you know, little queen.
Come on now.
Yeah, definitely.
I love it.
So, for
I
all
am
the little
so-
black boys and girls.
So
out
we got to
there.
keep following her, y'all.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
At the Crystal Lens on all forms of social media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So become her friend on Facebook also.
Yeah,
That's right.
Crystal Chandler.
And support her movement.
Yeah, please do. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Have a great show, you guys.
Thank
Okay.
you.
All right.
And a big shout out goes out to Henry. Henry Parker.
Yeah.
Well, everybody know Henry the man
My
behind the
brother
scenes.
from another mother.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this edition to the CD Storm Show. And we have the most distinguished guest right here, Boston's own. I'm going to let him introduce himself. Brother.
Well, peace and blessings. My name is Charles Clemons Muhammad, born and raised in Roxbury, in Dorchester. Have been in Dorchester, living in Dorchester since 1969, and have done a lot of things for the community. And not because I have to do that, it's because I want to do that. I love my community. Started many successful businesses, hired thousands of Boston residents that some might call unemployable. Started a limousine service that I ran for over 25 years.
Okay.
Entertainment company, I've done concerts, weddings, proms since 1979, and started Touch 106.1 FM, the fabric of the black community.
Which is going strong.
To give our community a voice.
Yes.
In an underserved area of the community. And I'm also a former Boston police officer.
Yes, that's right. And I'm just becoming aware that I've seen you in uniform. You've been a public service all your life.
Service.
Now you're running for the office. Have you run for office before?
Absolutely. I
Yes,
actually ran for mayor in 2013. I was actually the first candidate to come out and announce that I was running for mayor in 2011 at Hibernian Hall in front of about 300 people. Okay. And that was on August the 21st, 2011. And I got a call 3 days later from Mayor Menino, God rest his soul, who congratulated me.
Okay.
And I didn't run for mayor to become mayor. I ran for mayor to make sure that the poor, the underserved, the working class had a voice at the forums and at the debates.
Yes. And so where are we at right now in elections? How many candidates are there that are running?
For the 11th Suffolk District?
Yes.
Well, before I ran for the 11th Suffolk District, which was 2 years ago,
Yes.
because the 11th Suffolk District is at the state level. The state elections are every 2 years, and they always happen on an even number year. 2018, 2020, 2022, 2024, 2016. So I ran in 2016 for state rep. However, I also ran for district city councilor for District 7, which covers a little bit of the South End, a little bit of Back Bay, some of Roxbury, a little bit of
And how did
Dorchester.
that turn out?
Well, my first time running, I came in second place.
Okay.
And there were roughly around 7 candidates.
Yes.
And then my second time running, there was roughly about 13 candidates. I came in 5th place. And so congratulations goes out to the current City Council for District 7, Kim Chaney. Congratulations.
How important is it for us to get out there and support you in this? How important is it?
It's important for you to support a candidate who you believe in, a candidate who you trust, and a candidate who's going to get the job done, a candidate who loves the district that they're running in. As a former Boston police officer who walked the beat in the 11th Suffolk District, I understand the tragedies and the successes of our community. But I also listen to the community, and I know what the community wants and has been longing for, such as the reduction of crime in our community. and to reduce the crime in our community, one of the things is we need to find out where the guns are coming from.
Okay.
We need to find out where the drugs are coming from.
Okay.
Stop locking up our young brothers and sisters and having them go to jail paying a penalty for what the bigger fish are doing. The other thing is affordable housing. Affordable housing, we keep throwing around this word affordable housing. There needs to be new legislation that defines what affordable is. Now, affordable should be, as the Honorable Mel King stated, when you build rental property or you build homes, 1/3 of it should be for low income, 1/3 of it should be for moderate, 1/3 should be for market. That's how you make it affordable for everybody and not just a chosen few.
And it's not like that now.
No, sir, it's definitely not like that. The other issues that why people should support your Brother Charles is, one, being from the neighborhood all my life, and number two, fighting for livable wages. We just signed, the governor just signed a bill
Listen to this.
for,
Listen to this.
for minimum wage to be increased over the next 5 years up to $15 an hour.
Okay, yes.
Now, $15 an hour doesn't do anything for anyone. It keeps you in a survival mode.
Yes.
You want to be in a thrivable mode. And what is a thrivable mode? A thrivable mode is earning a livable wage. A livable wage, CD Storm, is between $23 to $25 an hour. That's what we should be focusing on. That's what our elected officials should be focusing on, fighting for livable wages for the community, not minimum wage, because there's nothing minus about our community.
And when we're fighting for these, the people who we are going after are the CDCs and the developers and the contractors. Are we talking about these people as well?
Well, now I'm glad you mentioned about the CDCs and the developers. What I am focusing on is when it comes to legislation to be passed, that's the lawmakers. The lawmakers are the elected officials at the state level. At the city level, it's called an ordinance. It's the same thing, it's a law. I'm talking about the elected officials doing the right thing. Now, you mentioned CDCs and developers and what have you. Now, the CDCs have, by law, the CDCs are to hire people from the community when they are doing economic development.
Yes.
There is a Massachusetts law 40H that stipulates that they're supposed to hire from the community, which they don't do,
Yes.
except for the Grove Hall Neighborhood Development Corporation. Now, the Grove Hall Neighborhood Development Corporation has supersedes any type of requirements there are. They hire from the community. Over 50% of the hirees are from the community. Over 70% of the people are people of color. Over 25% are women. If the Grove Hall Neighborhood Development Corporation can do it, then all other CDCs
Absolutely.
should be able to do
Absolutely.
it. And that's why there should be a class action lawsuit against the CDCs that are not adhering to the law. But I'd like to get back to the 11th Suffolk District.
Okay.
You know, a lot of people need to know the boundaries of the 11th Suffolk District
Yes.
for state representatives.
Yes.
And those boundaries are
Yes.
Grove Hall, which I call affectionately beautiful Uptown Grove
Yes.
Hall.
Yes, indeed.
Grove Hall
Yes,
to
indeed.
Columbia Road to Seaver Street heading down towards Eggleston Square. Also, if you go up Blue Hill Avenue to American Legion Highway and take a right onto American Legion Highway, you follow that all the way down to
I know a lot of
Walk
y'all
Hill.
didn't know that.
Take that right onto Walk Hill. Everything on the right and the left is the 11th Suffolk District. Also, when you go down Seaver Street towards Eggleston Square, everything on the right and the left is the 11th Suffolk District. And goes all the way down Columbus Avenue, past Jackson Square, up to Fort Hill, Fort Ave, Highland, Cedar Street, Center Street, Marcella, Academy 1, Academy 2, Martin Luther King Boulevard, Crawford Street,
All this
Humboldt
is the
Ave,
11th district.
11th Suffolk District.
11th Suffolk districts. Remember that.
Elm Hill, Cheney Street, Schuyler Street, Maple, Nazing, all those, Seaver Street. That's the 11th Suffolk District.
You'd be surprised. People been living there all their life, and if you asked them, they wouldn't know. So,
Well,
so remember that.
Part of my platform is to educate our community on the 11th Suffolk District and also what your rights are and how you can change laws. There are those who, when I go door knocking, I've knocked on at least over 1,000 doors. I ask them, do you know who your state representative is? And they look at me like, what's a state rep?
Yeah,
They
see
should
that.
know what a state rep is. That's why it's important for us to have town hall meetings every month. And as your state representative for the 11th Suffolk District, town hall meetings will happen every month so that we can hear the voices of the community, to hear their thoughts and their concerns, and then we come up with an action plan.
That's
to make sure that
accountability. That's accountability. That is accountability. Let me ask you a question. Are you the only person of color running? Is there any other?
Well, for the 11th Suffolk
Yes.
District, I am the only person of color. Now, there are other districts that are running, that are having elections, the 5th Suffolk District, and so on. But the 11th Suffolk District, I am the only person of color who is running.
I want you to hear this. We got to vote this man in office. We got to put him in here. Have you worked in other legislations? Worked on other legislations?
Well, in 2008, I made an announcement that I was going to walk across America 3,100 miles to bring awareness to the Low Power FM Radio Act bill.
Okay.
And this bill would allow underserved communities to have a license for community radio stations. Now, licenses, there are commercial radio station licenses that cost millions of dollars. Then there is the Low Power FM community radio station license, which doesn't cost you anything.
Wow. You hear that?
So I was bringing awareness of this bill so that this bill could pass. Now, in 2009, I actually decided that I would do, in 2009, I actually decided that I would do the walk from Boston to California to bring awareness. However, my mother and my minister did not want me to take that walk because we had just elected President Barack Obama and gun sales had just tripled. And she felt, and he felt, that as I was walking across America, I probably would be murdered or killed, just like you see what's going on now with the murdering of our young people by the police and others.
Yes.
My mother's prayers and my uncle's prayers and the minister's prayers were answered. Because my mother always said, why don't you just walk to Washington, D.C.? I said, Ma, it's not the same as walking across America. But she said, you go to Washington, D.C., present your case to President Barack Obama, members of Congress. I'm like, Ma, I'm not afraid, because you taught me to fear no one but God.
And we all know his mother, the lovely Sister Virginia, the backbone of the nation over there, of Muhammad's Mosque number 11. I love it. Yes.
So her actually, on March the 21st, 2009, I left Boston. I had to send off, the governor was there, city councilors were there, the mayor was there, and the community was there. It was about 300 people. And I started my trek across America, 25 to 30 miles a day.
Yeah.
There was a gentleman that was following me, because this trip was supposed to take 6 months. There was a gentleman that was following me with my supplies while I walked. And we
You
got
look
as
like
far,
you lost a lot of little weight there, but
Thank you. We got as far as Pompeii, New York.
yeah.
And Pompeii, New York is 202 miles from Boston.
Okay.
I woke up and the gentleman who was carrying my supplies had left. Had someone come pick him up and he left. He left me there with my van, with my supplies, and a note that said, "Some people's dreams are other people's nightmares."
Whoo!
I
So
was
he
hurt.
had backed out of the deal?
He backed out of the deal. I was hurt. And I was trying to figure out how can I continue this 6-month journey.
Yes.
And then I thought maybe walk, come back, take the van, have to drive the van some miles, then walk to the van and go back and forth. That would take me almost 2 years.
Yeah.
So I came back to Boston, got on the radio, and the brother heard what happened. He said, "Hey, listen, I can stay with you for 30 days.
Okay.
Well, to walk from Boston to Washington, D.C. takes 30 days.
It does.
Yes. So I walked from Boston to Washington, D.C., 500 miles. Now, if you add the
That
202.
must be for a pretty good walker. Now, I don't think a brother like me could do that. I don't know. Could you think I could do that? Is that an average?
Whatever you put your mind to, you can do.
Okay. Okay.
So we got to, I got to Washington, D.C., and nonprofit organizations were there, low power FM radio stations was there to greet me.
Yeah.
We went to members of Congress, and that was 2009. 2010, the House of Representatives unanimously voted for the bill, to pass the bill. Then in 2011, the Senate voted. And this is how a bill moves through Congress.
Okay.
House, Senate, then it ends up on the desk of the president.
I see.
And on January the 12th, 2012, January 4th, 2012, President Barack Obama signed the bill. So when it comes to legislation, I've moved legislation at the federal level. I've also, at the state level, got a question of would the state representatives vote unanimously for low power FM radio stations in underserved communities, and I got that on not the legislation. I got that on the election, which was a question. I believe it was question number 5, and 87% of the community voted yes for it.
Okay.
So that was at the state level.
Yeah. Now, if elected, tell us, what do you think that you will do different?
First of all, as I stated earlier, we have town hall meetings.
Okay.
To give the community a voice, and not just a certain part of the 11th Suffolk District. We're talking about the whole 11th Suffolk District, having town hall meetings throughout the district. The other thing is understanding that certain parts of the 11th Suffolk District, the median income is $23,000 a year. That's Grove Hall. But if you go over to Jamaica Plain, it's $65,000, $75,000. That's a big difference. That's a big gap. That's why it's so important for your state representative to be accessible for the whole community. That's why we will have a district office in our community, open in our community 6 days a week, understanding that we have residents who are working 2 and 3 jobs. We have residents who are working 50 to 80 hours a week. They don't have time to go downtown, but they have time to go right in their neighborhood to get connected to the resources that your state representative will link you to.
Brother Charles, that is so important. I am glad that we are going live so that you can hear each and every word that he's saying. Brother Charles, let me ask you, now that they're legalizing marijuana, there are so many brothers that are incarcerated because of marijuana, and now that they have found out that the problem is a problem now, do you believe that there should be retrials for some of the men incarcerated that are that are incarcerated because of marijuana?
I don't think there should be retrials. I believe that they should be let free. They should be let free. What they need, what Massachusetts needs to do, because July 1st, it just became legal, which means the residents and the citizens voted for this. They need to follow suit of Canada. The Prime Minister of Canada said, hey, listen, I will let folks go. So why not? Why not let them go? You're gonna have so many white men and white women that are gonna make millions of dollars selling marijuana. And our black and brown brothers and sisters are behind in jail because of that. But now you're going to legalize it so people can make money and keep our people incarcerated.
Yes.
I say hell no.
Yes.
Let them go.
Yes. And I know in your struggling you have great opposition against you, but I know you're a man that takes no for an answer and you striving. In our closing, how much time do we got left here? Do we have a little time? Because I want this brother in our closings to give some advice to everyone that's listening here. In our closing.
Well, first I'll say is thank you, CD Storm.
Yes, it's my pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you to Brother Henry Parker and the staff here, and the volunteers that are here. I would say that there are those of us who might feel that voting doesn't count. It does count. I used to feel like that. I go to community meetings and I hear people complain. But then at the end of the meeting, I say, so what are we going to do to make a difference? You can make a difference. You have the power to vote people in. You have the power to vote people out of office. You have to understand that every year there's an election. And if you vote every year, then you become what's called a super voter. When you become a super voter, they will come knocking on your door and ask for your vote. And now you can hold them accountable.
That's right.
Because you're a super voter. Become a super voter, get involved in neighborhood organizations, make a change. You can check me out online at www.charles4boston.com. That's F-O-R, charles4boston.com. Go there, look at the platform, let's see what we can do. Power, together, action. Make your words become action. And your brother, Charles, is making his word bond and his words become action, because I love my community. I want new changes in our communities. You want changes in our communities. We need to look at things through a different lens. We need to look at new ideas and be very, very proactive.
You heard it. And you heard it first on the CD Storm Show. We are going to do a follow-up with Brother Charles. He promises that he's going to come back and keep us informed.
Absolutely.
You know, brother, it's been a pleasure to have you on the show.
It's
and we're going to do a
pleasure.
follow-up on it anytime you want to do it.
I want folks to remember we vote September the 4th, the first day
the 4th.
after Labor Day. Now, a lot of you are going to be out of town, but that's okay. I got a plan for that.
Yes.
And some of you might be still turned up because of Labor Day. Get out and vote, and it's the first day of school.
So you heard it. And so one more time again, Brother Charles, how they can get in contact with you and look at your site?
They can text me right now at 617-334-4639, 617-334-4639, or go to my website, charles4boston.com. F-O-R, charles4boston.com. Let's be part of the solution and not part of the problem.
There you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to Henry Parker's Presents the City Storm Show.